There's some huge implications behind the month of January for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are off to a really great start at 26-4 through 30 games, but the month of January has some matchups we need to discuss. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest. Cavs taking care of business again against the Utah Jazz last night. It was a throwaway game. It's a get it done and move on. That's how the Cavs played. Sam Merrill with 20-plus points. That made 4 starters with 20-plus points in that one. And personally, not a Colin Sexton fan, so I always love to see the Cavaliers win that one. Cavs Digest, 5 months in. We're almost to that 1,500 mark subscriber-wise. We appreciate everybody who has kept up with the channel. Stats on the channel are showing everybody who's watching isn't necessarily subscribing. So for Christmas, easy Christmas gift, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot to talk about coming up, trade-wise and schedule-wise, reacting to some huge games coming up, which we'll talk about today. And then, of course, for Christmas, I said sit back, relax, take in 5 or 6 Cavs Christmas Day games. You got LeBron and T-Mac in the early 2000s, LeBron and Kobe multiple times. 2017, non-Cavalier fans note that as an incredible game, as a memorable game, as an all-timer. So definitely go back and rewatch that 2017 Cavs Warriors. Getting to today, we are going to discuss implications behind the Cavaliers' schedule coming up in the month of January and early February. They have some big matchups coming up. Now, implications, the conclusion that can be drawn from something, although it is not clearly stated. So what can we gather from the upcoming matchups? There are going to be big things to gather from these upcoming matchups as we take a look at the Cavaliers schedule. Again, it's January kind of into early February. I'm going to discuss 5 games that I've noted that should really be talked about, looked at, circled, whatever you want to say. Love you to drop down in the comments, and even if it's like, hey, I love watching Anthony Edwards, even though he's kind of struggling this year after the Anta Claus Sprite commercial, let us know what you think. But we'll start off with that first game there. Friday, January 3rd, the Cavaliers in Dallas to take on the Dallas Mavericks. I'm excited for that matchup. You may say, okay, it's clear, Luka, whatever. It's important to remember with this matchup when the Cavs go to Dallas. Number 1, they're on the road. I think Dallas has great crowds, tough environment. Number 2, everything about that team, whether it's regular season or not, and I do understand teams don't show their full strength in the regular season. That's an NBA Finals level team, NBA Finals level players, and an NBA Finals level coach. They're going to throw things at you that got them to the finals a year ago. You will see things, whether it be Luka's iso ball, whether it be electric shooting from Clay, Kyrie, and Luka, or whether it be rim runners like Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, or like I said, terrific coaching from a guy like Jason Kidd. You are getting that experience on the road. Important to note, I don't know that they're the team to beat in the West. I don't necessarily think so, but there are huge things to take away from that matchup as we get things going. The second matchup that we want to watch for, the Cavaliers and the Thunder. I have been pumped to watch this matchup. I think the Cavs and Thunder mirror each other a lot, especially their journey over the past 3 years. Thunder getting Shea, Cavs getting Mitchell, Chet, Mobley, Jalen Williams and Darius Garland. I mean, these are 2 stacked teams, and these are 2 teams that are playing like it. Looking at that schedule too, that is a primetime game. Wednesday, January 8th, the Cavaliers hosting the Thunder on ESPN. Really, really exciting matchup there. If I don't think Dallas is the top contender in the West, I obviously think the Thunder are. I think they play with a lot of pace. I think they are fast, and I think they're an extremely defensively driven team. They're going to work hard to make sure that the Cavs aren't, as Draymond Green said, moving that thing, pushing the ball, passing the ball. They're going to make sure a guy like Sam Merrill doesn't get 20 points because of how well the Cavs are moving it, injuries or not. And, of course, they do have scoring options. They've got Shea. Jalen Williams can have big games. Chet's getting more comfortable on offense, but they're a defense-driven team. They work as a unit to try and get those stops. So that'll be a fun matchup there. Next up, game-wise, you get the Thunder again, January 16th at OKC. And NBA fans know, ball knowers understand that is a tough environment. You are going into OKC against the top team in the West, again on national TV. That'll be on TNT to try and take down the Thunder. And the big one in this matchup for me, whether you beat them the first time or lost to them, what happens, what is learned heading into the second matchup for either the Cavaliers or the Thunder. So if the Cavs lose, are they able to gain knowledge from that first matchup and insert it into that second one, showing good coaching? I think the Cavaliers have better coaching than the Thunder, by the way. Or if the Cavs win that first game, are the Thunder easily able to sniff out what they did so well to cause issues against them and have it make the difference in the second matchup there? Something to watch for sure. Adapting, that would be the same as in a finals matchup, game 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Are you changing things up? Are you growing? Are you changing things up to make sure the Thunder aren't coming after you and making that difference and they look better against you? So I'm excited for that. Both nationally televised games, the 8th against OKC in Cleveland, the 16th at OKC, both nationally televised, ESPN and then Max. The next game I want to talk about, at Houston. Houston almost won the bubble. Their offense kind of tapped out towards the end of that one, but they are deep. That's the big thing for me with the Houston Rockets. That's a deep squad. You got the beef between Mitchell and Dillon Brooks. Fred VanVleet has that shimmy shake offense. He's been to the NBA Finals with the Raptors. He's a heat check player. Şengün is extremely underrated. Again, it's about knowing ball with Alfred Şengün. Jabari Smith, Jalen Green is getting some minutes, and this is a well-coached team. Ime Udoka, for whatever his problems have been off the court, he is a good coach. He is a good NBA coach. So this will be a matchup where you're taking on a different sort of squad, and you are possibly up against your equal coaching-wise between Atkinson and Ime Udoka. So definitely something to watch for. Again, that's at Houston on January 22nd. And then the final matchup to watch for, you guessed it, February 4th versus the Boston Celtics. Big one, big storyline here. Both teams should be relatively fully healthy. I understand it is a regular season game, but you've either missed Dean Wade, or you've missed Jaylen Brown, or Kristaps Porzingis, or whoever else has been out. This should be the culmination of both teams being fully healthy, both teams having one win between each other, and now you're going to go at it in Cleveland, February 4th. I'm very excited for that matchup. So Cavs and Celtics round 3, as the rivalry between these two continue to grow. The Celtics, they're probably sick of hearing about how great the Cavs are. Honestly, I can imagine they want to win that one. Before we close out, do want to note a really great article right now in The Athletic about Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to do some more about that article coming up as he compares this Cavs team to that Jazz team he was on, but also just his leadership, his fit in Cleveland, easing into his role. All that was kind of discussed, so I'm excited to do so. Here on Cavs Digest, drop down into the comments. What games do you have circled in the upcoming schedule for the Cavaliers as they go into the month of January? Some huge implications, some things we're going to learn, so stay tuned to Cavs Digest.